Oh, that means finally I'm recording. After all that stuff, oh man, I've just been on and on and on and on and on and on and on about. Trying to be skinnier, but I can't be at the moment. Anyway, I just had such a big diatribe that nobody really understands anyway, so it doesn't matter. But always remember the great times I had back home in Colombia. Yeah. Remember the time I got there and got to the airport after flying from Brisbane, not a word of Spanish, nothing, not knowing where I'm going. I wasn't a youngster, but shit, I hadn't been away too many times. So I get to the airport and got my suitcase and waiting for somebody to pick me up from the airport, and nobody picks me up, and I go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And that was the old El Dorado, where there wasn't too much up and downs anyway. And some guy, he was a really nice man, he saw me, he said, "Hey, gringo." And I said, "Yeah, I guess." I didn't even know what gringo meant at the time. But I thought, yeah, no, I'm Mike. But he said, "Gringo," yeah. And I said, "Okay, yeah, no, I'm Mike. But anyway, I'm gringo." So he said, what are you up to? And I said, "Well, I got this job and there was, waiting for someone to reach me. I mean, I know I don't have a lot of experience or anything. I don't speak a word of Spanish and shit like that. But anyway, I got this job and they gave me the ticket and all this. And he said to me, "I seen a number of you guys come through." This is like 1980. I've seen a number of you guys come through and the same thing, I think they're looking for people to start looking for oil exploration. I said, "Well, yeah, that'd be great, I don't know." I was an older surveyor anyway because I did some other shit before I went back to study and got my degree. Anyway, he said, "Yeah, but anyway, I'll get you there. I know where it is. Hang in there." And he got me a taxi. And this was like the 18th of December, 1980, just before Christmas. And he told the taxi driver to take him there, and he told me, "Don't give him anything more, he's already been paid." So, man, that was one of the best bienvenidos I've ever had anywhere. So, wow, good people in those days. Anyway, so there we go. They take me this place. It was in, I don't know, it's up north somewhere in Bogota. It was like 96 with somewhere else, It was a big edificio. Was where Western Geophysics was. And anyway, I go in there and they, get up there and taxi and go up there and I get in there and said, "Who are you?" And this was Betsy, who was a really sweet person. But at that time it was the first time I met her, and she said to me, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Mike McVinnie, just come over." "Oh, how come you took so long? You should have been here like a week ago." I said, "Well, this is 18th of December." And I said, "I lost my passport." And this, "No, it's okay. Anyway, I've got you there. Go to this hotel down there." And it was down in the Centro. Can't remember the name of it, but it was a really nice hotel. But Jack Lichtenberg and Claudio will pick you up in the morning at like 6 o'clock. And I said, "Okay, fine, yeah, that's good." So I went off there and went there, yeah. And they picked me up and then off we went to Villavicencio. It's like about a 3-hour trip. And Claudio was really, he's really good. Jack was, he's all right. But anyway, he's the big boss at the time. I don't know what they're doing down there anyway. They've just started up a few crews and they had this big job just out of Villavicencio. So anyway, that's where it started. That was my thing. So there was the 18th, 19th, and I had my first Christmas in Villavicencio in Colombia in 1980. Wow. And it was amazing. The people were so good. It was everything. I had so many years. Wow. They were just so good. It was before the guerrilla got really right into that area and stuff like that. So it was really good. It was beautiful. I met so many people and I miss it so much. Anyway, that's my bit of wave on the underwear. I could keep on going. If I wasn't such a lazy fuck, I'd write a book. There you go. Omar was always telling me, I should get in there and write a book, yeah, but, well, I should, but, yeah. These are things, look, I went everywhere, I guess, in not everywhere, but a lot of places in Colombia, went a lot of places in Ecuador, a lot of places in Venezuela. I really never took a photo. I wish I had have to show my kids, but the thing is, the only people that can understand the photos are the people you're with, who've been there with you. You can show this. I could have 1 million photos here and show all the guys I'm working with at the moment. There's only about 3 of them actually, but anyway, show them all this stuff and you know what happened, and people were shot and there were dead bodies in the river, and there was all that one when you're on Peter, and there was all that, yeah. But they can't understand it, so there's no point, you know. And so there never was a point. I remember the first time, after like 5 years, I came back here to Australia, and bad boy I was. I never spoke to mum and dad I got married and came back with Mona. Anyway, we went and had some parties, or they had some parties, and met some people and stuff, and they used to ask me, how was it in Colombia? And this is only after being there for like 3 years, or 4 years, 5 years I guess it was. And I started to try and explain to them, and they just like shut themselves down because they couldn't relate to it. Couldn't relate to not even so Colombia, but seismic work. There's not many people that can relate to that. I guess it's a war you fight without guns. Sometimes you need them. Like old Parita when we went down there in the Putumayo. Wow, that was pretty rough. But anyway, not to put anything on there. But yeah, so I guess that's what we did. We used to go into places where nobody else had been, and we'd without guns and shit, and we'd just do what we needed to do, get things going. Anyway, rambling a bit. I hope this one's been recorded because I really like to put this somewhere. Because the last one, when I was trying to be a little bit more skinny, I used to be a bit skinny fucker, but yeah, the good life, wow, it's not so good. You know, have to eat. But anyway, should have been better. But I appreciate that's my fault, nobody else's. But yeah, we had so much, I don't know, compañerismo, we say, compañerismo, friendship. We did so many strange things, really strange things, you know. Wow. Wow. I remember a drill crew somewhere right down there in the Putumayo, which, you know, we needed to get more production and stuff, and they started walking round and round to the left instead of the right. Anyway, that's something that whoever knows about it will understand. Yeah. And we'd sit there and listen to Omar with his guitar up there in Chocantar, where it was so cold, man. We used to sit there and, I mean, I used to have half a bottle of aguardiente before I could have a shower, because you have to break the ice on top of that 44-gallon drum in that great hotel we had to give yourself a wash down. We couldn't fly the helicopter because it was too high. But we worked and we did it, and yeah, it was unpleasant. We had a good time, and we listened to Omar's great singing and his guitar and stuff. Yeah, it was really good. And then Wow, so many places. One place there was called right out there in the Llanos. One day, no, I remember this one day, yeah, one day, many days. I guess it was for Weeks Oil. We had this contract. It was outside of Yava there somewhere on the other side. But anyway, we got these extensions, and we just kept. There was Nesta and Natcha, and they just, competing against each other for production, and they just kept getting more and more production, and so they kept giving weeks, yeah. And that wasn't Paso Raporo, it was further out, but anyway. And so they just kept going and going and going, and one day they got together and they just fighting. And I was just the chief surveyor, or surveyor, whatever you want to call it, chief, but anyway. And so they called me one day, and Norman Pedersen was the boss at that time anyway. And they called me and said, hey, we're having a bit of an accident. And I was looking out the door and I saw this big cloud of smoke in the distance. And what it was their pickup that they wanted to get there and shoot some more kilometres and all that sort of shit. I mean, this is what we used to do. So they put a drum of petrol, we call here in Australia, but gasoline on top of the roof, and then they put a direct line into the carbo, and they just kept going. And it caught on fire, and it burned up the Manguera hose, and hit the drum of petrol on top of the roof, and everything went to fucking shit. But they had all the tapes in the back, and they went in there and they took them out and they saved them, man. And there was I saying, shit, I was talking up to Norm Pedersen. I was just like a fill-in Heffy. Well, I wasn't a Heffy, but fill-in, because the Heffies were the boys that did the job. I was just there to relay. I was like an assistant. I don't know, anyway. And so I called her. I said, yeah, I think we lost her. We just had an accident, Norm. And I said, but I think they saved the tapes. And Norm said, well, that's the best thing. That's the best thing. They saved the tapes, eh? And that's what we used to do. And that was on the land in Colombia and Venezuela and everywhere, and Libya, and not Libya, so I wasn't there, but everybody in their different places. We used to do that a little bit in Colombia and shit. That's how we lived, and that's, wow. I wish I had written a book, but I can't write much. I should have made a movie, but I can't make movies, and if this is being recorded, that's just something not put out there. But yeah, so many great people. And this was Western Geophysical, which you all talk about, but yeah, so many great people. This was a little bit after a lot of the great ones that have passed away. I remember one day when I was having some trouble. I was working in Cucuta. I was a chief surveyor, and there's this guy called, I can't remember his name. He was a real hard gringo and a real pain in the ass. And we were having trouble because we were doing the first time we'd ever done any crooked line recovery in Colombia. It was up in Cucuta where I met my missus, which was probably the best thing about it. Or maybe not, I don't know, we'll talk about that next time. Anyway, so it's all crooked lines, so I'm surveying, and we have to take a fucking point every 10 metres when the curves go around and all that. We didn't have any. All we were using in those days was a calculator, like a TI calculator with some really abstract, not software. You used to put the card in there and it'd do that, and then put the corrections and all that sort of shit. And there we were doing that, and I was, falling in love and everything. And this guy was just fucking riding me. That was the time where Stretch David was there. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys remember Stretch David in that part of the world, but he was like the nicest person you could ever meet. And he used to be an old observer, and yeah, that was the old days, yeah. Even, wow, that was it. Anyway, so there we go, and this guy was just riding me, and so one day with a video, Gordon Brown, I don't know if you remember the video, he was one of the best mechanics ever come out of Guatemala and part of Western, but yeah. And so I just got so screwed up anyway. And video took me out, and he presented me that time I remember to Monica, and yeah, there we went on from that, but the video was there. And I was just ready to quit. And Stretch come in one day and he said, I hear you're having some trouble, just go away for a little bit and get yourself sorted out and come back. This was what Stretch said, because he was so mighty, he was so beautiful. And so that's what we did, and this guy was just on and on and on and on and on about, you know, not getting the survey data through in time, and we didn't have the program to do it. We had no program, we had no software, we didn't have computers, we just had a calculator to try and do this crooked line shit and get all the data back so they could process it. It was pretty difficult. I blew out, but anyway, came through it. And from there, that was probably my first earthquake when I was up. Earthquake in Cucuta. Yeah, when I was still courting Monica. We went out to one night when we were, you know, courting, and went to a bar somewhere in Cucuta, and boom, there was a really huge, like a real, not no earthquake. Well, I guess it was an earthquake because a few buildings went down and stuff like that. And I always looked at it because I just bought a bottle of scotch, or half a bottle, because I couldn't afford a bottle at that stage because they didn't pay me enough. But it went onto the floor, and so, you know, we tried to run out of there, and I always remember there was somebody else ran out and they left, because there was no thing on that. They left their younger daughter there because they just ran out and forgot about her, and so we took her out and reintroduced them and stuff. I always remember that, yeah. And then we ran home because we couldn't move anywhere because everywhere was going crazy. They were driving their cars down to try and get home and smashing into each other. Yeah, it was weird. So there we go. I keep rambling on here. Hey. Maybe I should get a blog. I don't know. There's so much. That's starting from Colombia. And then we go to Veno. There's too many things you can black out over there. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. We all have these things to block out. But anyway, if you are listening, if you want to listen some more, I'm going to really try and write a kind of book somewhere, I don't know. Omar keeps telling me, you got to do it. I mean, we all have our stories, yeah. But some ways I think one of mine is, mine and Pablo's are probably some of the unique ones, because we both came about the same time in Latin America, and we're both gringos, and we're both couldn't speak Spanish, and we both ended up marrying and getting and living there and having the best friends of our life. And we've come back here again a little bit, but I don't think Pablo's happy where he's happy with his, not with Esperanza, but his new friend, and but I think he'd love to be back there as well, but and I would be, but I'm just concerned it's too old. I can't fight against people like Petro, like I mean, even my nephew is going for that bullshit. I can't talk to him. I can't say, because he's one of the younger ones going up, and it's just so demoralising to see it happen. So demoralising. Anyway. that's how life is, and that's how the younger generation are if they don't get some guidance. And yeah. Oh, well, I can't say I've been very good guidance, but yeah, Jonos and Matty doing okay, gracias a Dios. Wish we had some, me and Monty had some grandchildren, but I guess they're going to happen. Everybody's so scared about bringing children into the world when you can afford them, if you can afford them. If you can't afford them, why they keep bringing them in anyway. But my point is that if we don't have somebody that comes in, who's going to save everything we fucked up? I mean, really, who's going to change that and fix it? You know, they're talking about global warming now. Yeah, wow, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Of course, yes, huge thing. And they have reason, but it's also a big money manipulation thing. It's like, let's buy guns in wherever we are. I don't know. And when I was in the Sahara Desert for a long time, off and on, and I saw some of the, I don't know, rock carvings of many things, animals and everything there, you know, that were from prehistoric man, and that was a paradise. That they had palm trees and they had water and there's shells everywhere. It was, you know, and there it is, the Sahara Desert, the driest place in the world. And they didn't have unelectric cars. They got hit by a meteor, I guess, somewhere and killed all the thingos. But, you know, there's so many people trying to make money out of. I don't disagree. We've got to look after the planet, but we don't have to freak out on it. The planet's how it's going to go. And we can slow it down a bit, but we can't change it. Because we had that big island blew up the other day. Well, the other day, a while back there, some near Tonga. And I guess that put more than like 5 million not careful cars in the atmosphere. So, I don't know. Every time there's a volcano somewhere, it's not that I'm saying it's not right, we should be careful about it, but we can't stop people who need something to live. We've got to look at trying to make it better, but not being so fanatic like a rich little girl who flies all over the world and promotes climate change because she's everything, and I mean we've got to change the climate, but we've got to look at how we do it. We've got to look at the respectful things. Everybody's pushing it so hard because they want to make money out of it. That's once again, it's the same thing as always it was. You know, we're changing the oil companies for the green companies. We're changing the labour for the Greens. I don't know. Anyway, it's just I don't know. Well, I'm getting too old to live in this world. But anyway, when I do go, I know, I pray that I'll be helping to watch over it, and my kids will be doing the same. But yeah, I mean, my daughter-in-law's an environmental engineer, and she's trying to promote a lot of stuff with bamboo, and which is really good and stuff like that, you know, which is what we need to do. What we need to do, we need to try and do things and create things for people that can help it, like the people that like, what are we going to do if we shut down all the coal mines everywhere? What are those people going to do? They're going to starve, or they're going to go and they're going to steal, and they're going to cut down trees like they're doing all over Indonesia, like doing everywhere else. We've got to look at some alternative things. Not for wind farms. Wind farms aren't going to help them. Wind farms aren't going to help the poor people who need to cut down fucking trees so they can make a fire. That's not going to... Wind farm aren't going to help that. And that's where the, I don't know. Anyway, sometimes I get too frustrated. But that's just my little rave here. I don't know how to put this on anyway, but wish I could. Here I am. Miguel Martinez of Turbo, Antioquia. I've been to Turbo. The name's never been Miguel Martinez, but it saved my life a couple of times. When the FARC wanted to shoot my head off. Thank you, Nacho. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Octavio. Thank you, Eddie Ramirez. Thank you, everybody, my love, my friends. Oh, I love you so much, man. Anyway, I just thought I'd have to say this sometime because I'd rather say it in Spanish, but yeah. I'm rambling on a bit, eh? There's so many things that... I was talking to Omar. Omar said to me, you should write this book. And I said, yeah, well, I would like to write the book because there's so many things, so many things. And I'll probably repeat them over and over because sometimes I forget what I've already said, which many old people do. And I thought, yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to write a book, but I've got no photos. I've got nothing. I've got many memories, some distorted, some of them as clear as and new. Yeah, anyway, clear as. Yeah, no, that's the way. So, I'm not sure if this actually recorded, but if it has, I think I'm going to post it. That makes sense? Yeah. Maybe start a blog. I don't know how to start a blog. Maybe I'll keep it for a blog. Yeah, anyway, we'll see. I think it's time because I'm sick of being a laundry assistant. Well, I'm not sick of it. I like it. I'm blessed because I've got a job. There's so many people here who don't have a job, you know what I'm saying? And it's not a hard job, but yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a mindless job. Try and help everywhere else that I can. So, and I want to really get back home to paradise. Can't do it at the moment. Or if not, I've got to go somewhere. Yeah, anyway. It's a beautiful country here. So many people want to come here, but and I appreciate everything that's been given to me from this country, but yeah, I don't know. Most people don't understand it. A big sad thing about how badly we went in the football, in the World Cup. Wow. I should cut my beard so I don't look so fat, but cut my hair so I don't look so bald. There you go. Clean my teeth so I don't look like I've got some. Anyway, we'll all see you again another day. Maybe we'll talk tomorrow. I'm not sure, can I put this on TikTok or Twitter or something like that? I don't know. I'm not a Twitter person. Anyway, I had to say some of this. Not for my vanity, but just good to do, especially on this day, Resurrection Sunday, man. Because I'm a Christian. Since I was 10 years old, I've been a Christian. From 10 to like 2 years ago, I've been a really bad Christian in a lot of places. I've always tried. Well, I don't say I've always tried, but yeah. I've been in the darkness for a long time. I was back in the light when I was in Libya. It was really good being in Libya sometimes. It got me back in the light. Not because, it was just really good, but come back to Oz and got into drinking too much again and started to see the darkness. So what I'm trying to do is to say to people, the light comes, the darkness comes, but the light always comes back again, and that's what it is at the moment. It's Resurrection Sunday, man. This is what Jesus did to save our lives. Died on the cross and got up today for our salvation. God bless you all. I know a few of you don't believe in Christ, but there you go. I do, and it's great to talk to you. And if you want to listen, I don't even understand the stuff they say I put in it. Anyway, ciao, ciao, ciao. God bless you all. Keep you safe.